Hello, today we're going to be playing Drops of Death, a murder mystery visual novel demo. Before we start, I'm going to read the synopsis found on its itch.io page. After narrowly escaping a masked assailant, Adrian attempts to go back to their regular college life, but the killer is still out there. Spend your time with one of 3 love interests, avoid dying, and find the real killer, though they may be closer than you think. In a new take on the murder mystery genre, the killer is randomly chosen from one of the love interests at the start of the game. Every playthrough is different, with each killer and love interest having different plot lines. Now, I read this and I saw the art and I immediately wanted to play this because this sounds like a really intriguing idea. It's currently a demo right now, with the full game being released in the future. It can be found on crystalgameworks.itch.io. And with that intro, I think we can start now. Oh, also, I've added a little, it's called a Capamon, but I've added a little cat at the bottom right hand corner. I chose a black cat because I thought it looked like Tusky a bit. Hopefully that will not slow down the frame rate of the game, but let me know if you do spot that. I like the snow effect too in the main menu. Let's look at settings. Maybe increase the text speed a bit because I like it quick. Okay, let's start. Oh, and we can choose our character. And pronouns. I'm going to pick having short hair. Oh, I like that effect. It's a chilly night out, but here the water is the perfect temperature. I wish my apartment had a hot tub. I'm just glad this campus recreation center isn't far from where I live. The last of the regular gym goers head out the door and brace for the cold. I should be heading out with them, but I deserve a few more minutes. Those midterms last week were rough. I still have a migraine from all the crunching. Oh, hi Tasty, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Those midterms last week were rough. I still have a migraine from all the crunching. I really need to start studying sooner. Maybe I'll call Edwin tomorrow about starting on our study guide for the next exam early. I doubt I will, but it's a nice thought at least. The 3 girls swimming in the main pool beside me have a buzzer and are doing some kind of stretches. They must be competitive swimmers. My thoughts wandered to Lainey, a girl I knew in high school who was attempting to be an Olympic swimmer, but had little ambition nor motivation. I have to wonder what she's up to now. The background's quite nice. It's got a lot of detail with the tiles in the background and on the floor. It's easy to let my worries go when the water is this relaxing. A guy says a few words of farewell from the locker room and walks past the pools towards the front. I should really get going and start on my homework. At least I didn't have class today. The girls beside me start doing laps around the pool. I start to close my eyes. Something falls over in the locker room. There's scuffling, and then a scream. The swimmers all stop. One of them swims towards the edge with another following her. She steps out of the pool and walks towards the locker room as the other girl follows behind her. Oh, but a figure emerges from the locker room wearing all black and a bloody knife. The first girl doesn't have time to react before the knife is shoved in her stomach. The girl right behind her shrieks. A figure throws the girl to the floor and swiftly approaches the second one. Yeah, the music got really fast suddenly. I feel like there should be curtains or black bars around my field of vision. This is a movie, right? I'm watching this through a screen, surely. The last swimmer wobbles out of the pool as the figure makes their way over to her. Oh god. I've got to run. I stumble out of the hot tub and grab my things. I can't help but think about how I was going to bring my whole gym bag, but decided against it. I can't focus on that right now. The first door is right ahead of me. Behind me, I hear the water splashing on concrete. The third swimmer slipped on all the water outside the pool. My body wants to run faster despite the fact that I'm just as soaking wet as she is. There really is no one here this late at night. I jog past the weightlifting room to see it empty. The floor in here is a brand new tiled floor, so I can't press my luck by going too fast. I reach a hallway with just windows on either side. Do they really have to make the new fitness center this large? Outside, the snow has lightly began to fall. Please don't tell me I'll have to run out there like this. I'm still dripping wet. I might have better odds with the knife. Yeah, I agree, the music's making this feel really fast-paced. Also the action lines around the screen. The sliding door a few yards behind me slides open, and heavy footsteps follow. I don't dare look behind me as I quicken my pace to an all-out run. Our footsteps ring out in the empty halls. Someone surely has to be here still. Can they even help me? Will they even try? Wait, the front desk. It's a 24/7 facility. There'll definitely be someone there. But it'll be my luck they're on break. I run around a corner and have to catch myself from falling. From the corner of my eye, I can see the figure quickly matching my pace behind me. My phone is clasped tightly to my chest, but I'm too afraid the figure will catch up with me if I slow down to unlock my phone or even try messing with it. I can faintly hear a video playing in the yoga studio down the hallway, but it's almost as far away as the front lobby. Help! Help me! Help! I can hear some rumbling in a room off in the corner, but I can't slow down to see if it was a person or just some equipment. I need a group of people, though even a group of people weren't able to do much. There's a push door directly in front of me. I'll have to push through it to open it, but maybe I can block it somehow after going through. With a burst of energy, I throw the doors open and scan the area for anything. A broom, a cane, just anything. There's a basket of thin yoga mats wrapped up beside the treadmill. I lunge for it. I somehow make it just in time to slip one of the mats in between the door handles. The figure pounds on the door, but it only opens so far. Unlike a movie, the figure doesn't immediately push harder and the door gives way. They shove against the doors again and again, but I sprint away instead of staying to watch how long the mat holds. As I run, I pull out my phone and start figuring out how to make an emergency call. I've never had to make one before, after all. The epidural room before I get to the lobby. The figure finally gets the door to budge open. I dart to the hallway in front of me and turn the corner. Why me? Why'd I have to stay for those extra minutes? Oh. Yeah, I can do that. I actually can't turn the master volume of my microphone any higher, but I can turn down the sound. And turn up the master volume of my computer. Hopefully that will help. Oh good, that seems good. Thanks for letting me know. Why'd I have to stay for those extra few minutes in the hot tub? Why couldn't I have just gone home and taken a hot shower? Another pair of sliding doors part ways as I rush through them. There has to be people around here. Help! Help me, please, I'm being chased. A fit guy what's the matter? There... I jog up to him and almost collapse, my adrenaline running thin. My muscles were sore from working out already, and now I've just ran through the entire fitness center. There, guy killed people at the pool. Killed? This is 911, what's your emergency? And you're sure you didn't see their face? No. They were wearing a large black trench coat and had the hood up. I couldn't make out more besides that. That's all we could tell from the security footage as well. Could you tell anything about their hands? Their hands? Hello, best boy. How are you today? Were they wearing gloves? Oh, thank you very much. Have we met before from somewhere? Wait, hang on. Best boy, are you a robot? Games plus demo is probably the best of one of the best games of this oversaturated genre. Please stand by. Ever since Twitch updated its layout, it's very hard to find the mod button. Where is it? Manage moderation settings, blah blah blah. Oh, you left click, I see. Okay, there we go. You have to left click on the usernames. You're still stuck in the 2000s. I'm still stuck in the 1990s. Okay, there we go. Back to our regular schedule. Fortunately, I turned off linking. I think that's what the person was trying to do. My mind flashes to their hand. It's a blur, a black blur. I think so. He jots down on his notebook. Did you know any of the victims? No, I don't know any girls who swim competitively. What about this man? He shows me a headshot from a student ID of a young, toned man. Four people died? I'm sorry, I don't. That's okay, don't worry. I want you to try to answer this as best as you can. Do you know of anyone who'd want to kill you? Maybe an ex, a coworker. Want to kill me? My last relationship was in high school. We didn't break up on bad terms, but we never talked to each other after that. That was years ago. I'm not currently working anywhere. I don't know of anyone who'd really want to kill me. We'll have an officer monitor your apartment for the next few days. Please try to limit your activities outside of your apartment for the next week, and be home before dark. That's easier said than done. It's November. He stands up. If you remember anything, please call. Thank you. He escorts me towards the lobby and offers me a seat on the bench. I'm sorry, what was your name again? Nick Singh, but you can call me Detective Singh. Can I get you anything? Our coffee isn't the best, but it's sure to wake you up. There's also some croissants and muffins in the break room. They're from the bakery across from that new sushi place, if you've ever been there. I like their muffins. I'll bring you a plate then. He briskly walks off towards the corner room, leaving me alone. I don't know if I ended up falling asleep when the cops came last night. Everything's such a blur. But tonight, this entire morning will probably be a blur too. At least I have actual clothes on for now and not a bathing suit. I take a long look at the police department. I've never been here before and I barely remember anything here today. A group of cops are huddled around a desk and a white board, but I can hear them chuckling every few moments. The radios and guns on their belts just hang there. Detective Singh brings me back a small plate with a muffin, bagel, cream cheese, and a cup of coffee. It's a lot more than what I typically have for breakfast. If you don't mind, can I do some more talking while you eat? I nod and spread the cream cheese on the bagel. I'm a homicide detective here at the department. I'll be one of the detectives in charge of your case, so I might also help with making sure you're safe at your department. This is only my third year here on the force, but I assure you this isn't my first homicide case. Very reassuring. He's a bit young for a homicide detective though, isn't he? Of course, I don't know how old you have to be a detective. Still, this is really unheard of. 4 murders in one night by one person in a public building. Well, campus building, but I digress. The last homicide case I worked on was a jealous ex-boyfriend, but this... Is this a serial killer? A serial killer is someone who murders multiple people seemingly at random, typically strangers who might have similar looks. It's also got a strong connotation and needs careful evidence before declaring a case as such. But with the way things are looking, he takes a long sip of coffee. We'll find them, don't worry. Oh, there we are. Was it Adrian? It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm King Tae-young, a criminal psychologist. By day, I'm a grad student. By night, I'm still a grad student, but I also intern here. Hi. They let someone dye their hair like that here? If you feel stressed or anxious, feel free to stop by to talk to me. Or don't, I'll get paid either way. Kim. Kidding. You may feel okay now, but grief and stress can sneak up on you quickly. Trauma has a funny way of showing itself. Actually, would you like to stop by tomorrow just in case? If you don't feel like talking tomorrow, then I can prattle on for the most part. Sure. Great, I'll be here from 4 to 5. Don't worry, if you're still unable to remember much about last night. Nick, how many bullets did you fire at that domestic dispute last month? Huh? Our brains are hardwired to protect ourselves. That also includes traumatic memories. Most of the time, when cops are in the line of fire, they can either recall things in a near perfect detail or completely mess up on basic events. It's not uncommon for a cop to recall shooting 2 bullets, but have 5 missing from their gun. I don't remember because it was over a month ago. Tell that to your case report. I reported I fired 1 warning shot, and that's what happened. Sure. But my point is, things might not always be as they appear. You witness something terrible, and your brain will probably try to protect you from it. I'll keep that in mind. Guess I'll hear from you tomorrow then, eh? I'll see you then. So, where are you off to? Going home to rest? That was my first inclination, but I'm afraid if I go back to my apartment now and skip class, that I'll be alone for too long. I'm going to go to class, try to preoccupy myself, you know. That's probably for the best. Look, please don't shut yourself off. You've gone through something very scary and need to be open about it. Thank you. So what happens now? Well, we'll have all our guys investigate the crime scene and no potential suspects. All you have to do is keep safe and let us know if you remember anything. I'm gonna save just in case. I like the effect with the quick menu. I'm also gonna drink some water. No one else has turned up saying that they saw the person, but we're still asking around. Nick, there you are. You weren't in your cubicle. I sat there for like 10 minutes waiting. I do work away from my desk sometimes, you know. Adrian, do you have any more questions for me? I shake my head, though I glance over at the woman beside him. This is Fawn. She tends to bring snacks to the lunchroom, so we let her in. Hi, it's nice to meet you. Hi. Someone tried to steal your wallet, or did your neighbors get a little too rowdy last night? This case might be on a need-to-know basis, so we'll just be vague and say no. They're both truthful. No. It's a private matter for now, Fawn. He starts to say something else, but his words fall apart when his attention is caught by a girl being escorted in. I'll talk to you tomorrow or the next day, alright? Here's my number if you remember something or need anything. Fawn, don't scare her away. He hastily hands me a card before following the officers down a hallway. So, you go to school here? Yeah, I'm a junior in integrated marketing. That sounds, cool. I graduated last year from creative writing. Do you work around town? I run a blog and blog about serial killers and unsolved crimes. Oh. I'm starting to branch out into mysteries and the unknown, though. Here's my card. My dad would get mad if I didn't hand you one. Oh, look at the little ghost. Fawning for crime. She hands me a die-cut glossy card with a cartoony-looking ghost on it and a splatter of blood above her social media handles. It looks nice. Thanks. Ask about her blog or ask about Detective Sing? I think collecting more information would be good about the people involved. So how do you know Detective Sing? Because he works here. Okay, so they didn't go to school together? How is he, like, what kind of person is he? Nick's a hard worker. He mostly keeps to himself. I guess he doesn't have many friends here. Whatever the problem is, I'm sure Nick will solve it. He's the youngest here, but he works hard. And if he doesn't, I'll make sure he gets a pay cut. Thanks. Do you know who that girl was he ran off to talk to? Oh, she seems to be in for interrogation. If you don't know her, then maybe she's here for a different case? Or maybe she knew the victims? Yeah, maybe. Thanks, Vaughn. It was nice meeting you. It was nice meeting you too. If you want to talk again, I'm here from time to time, and I'll be talking on campus in a few days. About your blog? Yep. It's kind of popular, you see, so my professors wanted me to talk about it since I'm an alumnus. It's embarrassing, really. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, well, take care. Yet again, I'm left all alone. Well, nothing to do now but go to class. I like the God rays coming from the windows and light sources. And the floorboard pattern, it's nice. The result of being up all night is finally hitting me like a truck. Staying focused on her lecture on the marketing funnel is impossible. My friend Edwin has no trouble paying attention and typing up notes on his laptop. Of course, he wasn't running for his life last night, probably. Checking my phone for the time only seems to slow things down even further. I can feel every second drip by. Every second. Last night felt like an eternity. It must have been over within half a minute, but yet those girls dying seemed like an hour. It feels like a blur now, like I watched a really vivid movie last night, but yet I remember every second of it. My mind starts jumping around to wherever and whenever. What if the killer walked through that door right now and stabbed her like those girls? Would I be paralyzed with fear? Would the killer recognize me? Would they go through the other students to get to me, or would the killer ignore them just for me? Did they get a good look at me? Will they come after me, or was I just there at the wrong place at the wrong time? Am I safe in class? Alright, I'll let you guys go early, but I'm giving you homework. I don't want to hear any talk back. It's easy. At our next class, I want each of you to turn in an example of how you think a specific company's marketing funnel looks. No copying each other. I shake my head as if the bad thoughts will magically fall out. It's time to go. A bit sleepy-headed today, huh? I didn't know you partied on weekends. On weekdays? His eyes are so vibrant. Why do I feel like my own are the complete opposite? He notices how dejected I must look. Is everything okay? Is his hand in his pocket or on his hip? Do you want to get a late lunch? I just nod my head. He takes me to a popular restaurant downtown. I can tell by bringing me to this kind of place, it's his subtle way of saying it's on me. Oh, you can see the different jars and potted plants in the top right-hand corner. A waitress comes over for our drink order and we get settled. I just sigh. I don't know where to begin. I was at the gym last night working out. To the end of the night, I went to the hot tub and soaked for just a few minutes. There was some kind of fighting in the locker room, and then a guy came out with a knife. Some swimmers beside me approached the guy and got stabbed. I ran. That's about all there is to it. He's dumbfounded. That's it? What happened after that? What do you mean what happened? I outran the guy and that's why I'm still here. The guy in the locker room and the swimmers, they didn't make it. He grabs one of the rolls and carefully tears it. When I asked you if you were alright, I was kind of expecting you to say your dog had died or something, not this. Did they catch the person? I shake my head. Could you see them at all? I'm sorry if this is bringing back bad memories. It's alright. To be honest, I couldn't make out much about them. They were covered from head to toe. That's about all I remember. While the rest of the restaurant is lively, our table falls silent. Outside, the snow from last night still lingers on the bushes and street lamps. Another frigid night. And yet you still came to class. I would still be in my room in the fraternity with the door locked. I think our thought processes were still going out and doing our classes because it would be dangerous to not do that because we want to be in crowds, so we'll go with number 2. Being left to your own thoughts can be just as dangerous as a knife. Is that so? Will you be safe at your apartment? Most likely. I'll have an escort and someone monitoring the premise for the next week at least. Hopefully it won't take that long. I can't do much to help you right now. I don't know what that must be like, but if you need anything or want to talk to anyone, thank you. He watches the waiters and other patrons of the restaurant. I go back to staring out the window. People are hustling to grab some lunch and get out of the cold. Some have bags of Christmas gifts ready to take home and wrap. Out of them, one head looks familiar. It's the girl Detective Singh ran off to talk to this morning. Go outside and talk to her, or stay inside with Edwin. Number 2 seems the safe choice, but let's try to be a detective and snoop a bit. Just a bit. Okay, take care, Tasty. Thank you for coming to the stream. It was fun chatting with you. Edwin can't help but notice my lingering stare outside. Edwin, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, same, I'm enjoying the game. Edwin, I'll talk to you later if I don't come right back, okay? Huh? Where are you going? There's someone outside I need to talk to. I'll tell you more later. I quickly grab my coat and I leave Edwin there. The snow flurries hit my face the instant I'm outside, blocking my vision momentarily. It's already night out there. Where did she go? She already passed my window, so surely she's over here. In the sea of people, I spot her walking alongside the sidewalk. As I walk towards her, though, my damn apprehension and social anxiety kicks in. What will I even say to her? Hang on, I just want to look at the background. I saw you were brought in for questioning this morning. Is that related to the case where someone tried to murder me last night? Maybe you were escorted into the police station this morning You didn't happen to kill 4 people last night, did you? Hey! The girl turns around and immediately looks like I've invaded her privacy, which I kind of have. Let's save just in case. I think 1's good. I'll go with 1. I saw you at the precinct this morning. I was just wondering. She gives me another odd look and sizes me up. What's it to you? Well, are you that girl from last night? I'm Natasha. I used to practice with those swimmers. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's alright. I'm sorry you had to witness something like that. The snow gracefully falls around us. 2 complete strangers at a loss for words. I need to get to class. Hopefully this will be the last time we meet. Just like that, she turns around and merges with the crowd. It's just a few seconds. I can't see her anymore. In just a few seconds, I can't see her anymore. I like the snow crunching sound effect. It's hard to get the sound of snow crunching just right. It's a very particular texture. A former friend of the girls. No, a former practicing partner. She didn't say friend. Was there bad blood between them? Is that why she was brought in for questioning? Hopefully this will be the last time we meet. I don't think so. There's something off here. I slowly walk back to the restaurant and sit back down with Edwin, since I'd only been gone a couple of minutes. I tell him what I know. We get our food and he drives me back to my apartment. Okay, so we've learned something. Home at last. There's a Union Jack pillow. I wonder where this is set. Because it was snowing outside. And we said sidewalk, not pavement. So I kind of assumed this was set in America or North America. Clara still isn't home. No surprise there. Usually it's nice to have the place all to myself for the most part, but just the once I wish she'd be here. Those girls. I just sat there. Could I even have helped them? It's going to be a long night. Ah! Who's that? Edwin didn't park, did he? Hey, it's me, Detective Singh, the detective from this morning. Oh. I breathe a sigh of relief, but still look through the eye hole just in case before opening the door. I just thought I'd stop by to make sure everything's alright. The officers watching the parking lot will be changing shifts in just a bit. Oh, thank you. Wait, we're gonna save again. Save early, save often, as the mouse from Ghost of a Tale put it. Any new leads? Since this morning? No, I'm afraid not. But I'm not supposed to tell you everything about the case, even if you are the primary victim and witness, but I do tend to be a leaky faucet sometimes. We don't have anyone who saw the killer's face or anything identifying about them other than that they were over 5.5 feet tall. You also don't have any discernible enemies, and the mixture of victims is puzzling to say the least. It looks like the killer entered from a side entrance near the locker room and waited around until deciding to attack the guy in there for some reason. They must have got into a scuffle for some reason and the killer fatally stabbed him. That guy, they weren't after just the dude in the locker room though, right? It seemed like only a few seconds after the dude in the locker room screamed that the killer walked out. You're right, it doesn't look like the killer got into a bloody scuffle with the man in the locker room and then had to kill the witnesses. I apologize if my words are a bit too harsh, too brash. It's alright. Rest assured, we'll find out more soon. Thank you. Please excuse me if I'm intruding, but where's your roommate? The officer stationed wanted to make sure they knew what your roommate looks like so they'll know who to look for if they walk in. Oh, her? She doesn't stay here much, to be honest. She's graduating this for the rest of the time. She has straight red hair and drives a black car, but I doubt she'll be here tonight or tomorrow night. I see. I'll let them know regardless. Is there anything I can do for you before I leave? No, but thank you for all your help. It's nothing. Try to get some sleep tonight. You'll be safe. How strange that a smile from a stranger can be so comforting. Detective Singh walks out the door and I collapse on my couch. Clark, you're up. A medium-sized guy walks towards the front of the lecture hall as the professor opens up his slideshow. It's on some sort of food delivery service. He gives a quick spiel about the infrastructure of the company and how they're marketing it. He then divulges into how they could target new audiences in the future. He's done with his presentation in just a few minutes. Riley, a friend, walks up to the front. This is going to be hard to watch. He's nice, but he's terrible at public speaking, and his definition of public speaking means, well, talking anywhere in public. I don't really know what he was expecting from marketing classes. He's a computer science major and is only taking it as a minor, but it still involves a lot of presentations. Maybe he was expecting it to help him with a web development company or social media marketing. His presentation is just a bare-bones default theme with bullet points for everything. He stumbles through a lot of the words and his eyes frantically dart across the lecture hall. I think he's talking about a mobile game studio. It's hard to tell if he's talking about a studio or a pub or a specific game. His rambling comes to an abrupt conclusion when he runs out of time and the professor cuts him short. Adrian. Great, my turn. I walk up to the front of the lecture hall and pace while my presentation is being loaded. Hang on, I'm gonna mute Discord because I just realized it's being recorded. Where is streamer mode? Oh, there we go. I walk up to the front of the lecture hall and pace while my presentation is being loaded. It'll be quick. I just have to talk about the taco shop down the street for like 5 minutes. There's a lot more people here than I thought. Some are looking at me, some are looking at their phones, some have their heads hidden behind their laptops. I just need to sit down. Oh boy. My head feels terrible all of a sudden. A wave of nausea rolls over me. Adrian, are you ready? Why can't I see straight? Why now? You can give the presentation while sitting down. Thanks. I've given presentations before. This is so stupid. I can't stand up. Closing my eyes barely helps. I put my head in one hand and try to breathe normally. Damn it, this is so stupid. I try to open my mouth a few times to start my presentation, but I just can't. This is so embarrassing. The professor sets my drink down beside me, and I meagerly sip it. It helps somewhat. My head still hurts, but I have to get this over with. My presentation is on the Crunchy Taco on Southern Raccoon Boulevard. Is that detective calling me? Did he finally catch the guy? The reflection in the pathway is a nice touch to show it's icy. Hello? Adrian, hi. I have just a small favor to ask. What is it? It's for the case, don't worry. We've identified some suspects who were nearby around that time and want you to look at the lineup. Yeah, that's fine. How do I word I almost passed out and can't exactly drive right now? Are you at class today? I can send an officer to pick you up. That'd be great, thank you. A lineup. So, he wants me to pick out the killer. I don't have a good feeling about this. Adrian, are you feeling alright? Huh? Your face is pale. Are you nervous? Oh, I'm just not feeling well today. Can I get you anything? Some crackers? A soda? We'd like you to look at the lineup now, but I'd rather you be fully alert. Some crackers would be good. He quickly leaves towards what I'm assuming is a well-stocked facility kitchen. First muffins and pastries, now crackers. I've seen police lineups in movies. They have them all behind one-sided glass, and I just have to pick out the right one, right? Am I even going to be able to pick them out? Ah, back so soon? Well, you look like you've seen a ghost. You wouldn't happen to have a lead for me, would you? Let's sit down over here. What do you come by for? Do you need something? Detective Singh called me to come see a lineup. Oh, I thought I saw something happening over there. Lineups are real easy, don't worry. Have you ever had to, look at one? No, but I've read about them and seen them on TV. Of course. Don't worry if none of them ring a bell. We'll find this guy sooner or later. You sound so sure. Well, of course, it's not like these guys have anything better to do than solve a murder case. Trust me, they're not fighting over processing all the DUI tickets. I read up on the case some. It's definitely weird. Detective Singh walks by and hands me a roll of crackers. And where did you read up on this case exactly? Oh, just some files lying around, the big whiteboard with all the notes on it in the meeting room, the PowerPoint you set up last night. One of these days, your curiosity is going to get the best of you. And satisfaction will bring me back. Think of how quicker and cooler this case would go if I could help out. Ooh, no, this isn't some strange serial killer you can psychoanalyze just from reading about them. And I'm definitely not going to be in your next video about this. I won't get in the way. I tell you what, go ask your dad to let you on the case, and if he says yes, then I'll hand over everything I know. That's what I thought. Adrian, are you ready to get this over with? Yeah. Good luck. Sorry about that. She's been overly enthusiastic ever since she found out we're working on a murder case. And we can't exactly tell her to go home. Her father is the police chief. I was wondering about that because you mentioned father. Oh. Detective Singh leads me into the room. It's a cold and clammy area of the department. Like I had envisioned, a glass wall separates the room in half. It's a one-way mirror thing, right? Yes, only you can see them. They can't see you. There's a group of men lined up. Several of them look like they were just picked off the streets or from jail. I can't tell anything about them. The best I can do is to send away the burliest of the guys, and one guy who looks like he would snap in a fight. But after that... This is reminding me of, it wasn't really a detective film per se, but it was a noir. It was a French film called Le Samouraï, with starring Alain Delon. He's done several films, but that's my favorite with him in it, Le Samouraï. And it's basically a noir where he has to get away with a crime, but the police are after him, and there's a scene involving this, a police lineup, and he has to stand there and try not to be identified by one of the witnesses. So what he does is he asks someone next to him, hey, can you swap hats with me? And it's able to throw the witness off enough where they're like, this guy kind of looks familiar, but this guy looks familiar too. Like, there's something about the hat, there's something about the eyes, and it's just enough to throw the police a bit confused as to who was there at the crime scene. I just remember that was such a high tension scene, because you didn't know how they were going to react. The burliest of the guys, and one guy who looks like he would snap in a fight, but after that, that's about all I can tell. The guy wasn't gigantic, that's all I can remember. It's alright, thank you for your help so far. If there's anything else, you'll be the first to know. Oh, is this the lineup finished? Yes, we just finished. Kim tries to be inconspicuous, but I can still feel his eyes sizing me up. How about we have our little meeting now, since you're free? Sure. I doubt it'll be of any more help than this was. Kim leads me to a desk over in the corner, separated from the other desk by a thin plywood prop. So much for privacy. How was your day? I wouldn't say it was boring, and I wouldn't say it was fun. We'll go with the come see come saw. I'm here, aren't I? That should tell you how my day is going. What would you normally be doing? Probably doing homework in the business school. And you prefer that over being a star? The homework doesn't stop just because someone died. There's a pause in his breath when he sees I didn't trip up. Oh, so he's one of those shrinks. You're a integrated marketing student, right? How do you like that? It's fine. What do you do in that? Post on social media? Right now my classes are doing deep dives into the marketing funnel and how to develop a marketing strategy for corporations based on their growth and audience. Uh-huh. And you like that? Sure. You like psychology, don't you? Sure. Is that what you always wanted to do? Does that pertain to the case? Maybe. You never know what can be helpful. What should I answer? I think I'll go with number 2, because in real life I became an animator, but I didn't always want it to be an animator. There was a point in my life where I wanted to be a paleontologist. No, it isn't always what I always wanted to do. I started out as a nursing major before switching. Alright. He writes something down on his notepad. I can't tell if he's actually taking notes or scribbling something to psych me out. How did you feel? I was terrified, of course. Of course. Again, he writes something down in his notebook. I don't know what I hate more, this dread or all his questions. Is this your first time on a murder case? Yeah. This isn't my first time delving into a serial killer, though. When was the first? About 3 years ago, one of my professors set up a surprise webcam talk with a guy on death row. It was a surprise for us, I should say. He had murdered 3 women along an empty highway and buried their bodies at some farm nearby. He was only caught when the 4th woman escaped. By the time we saw him, he had already been behind bars for a decade, apparently being used as a guinea pig for a class counted as good behavior, so he got nicer meals for the rest of the week.